My proposal was, when I offered this thing on the floor, this has been a couple weeks ago, if you get to the point in the final short rows, you have to come up with some revenue to offset a proposed, maybe a loss or a perceived loss. This is something you could do. You could do it immediately. And what it would do, you've described it well, but if you have a qualified retirement plan, like a 401k, where you're going to have to pay at its maturity ordinary income, you can take up to 25% of that out today. Now, you have to pay a 10% fee. And if you pay the 10% fee, that would be income that would be coming in immediately. Now, we're talking about possibly billions of dollars here. And people might argue, well, they might argue that at the end of the normal maturity, there'd be a little bit less that would come out in ordinary income. Well, we don't know what the ordinary income is going to be 20 years from now anyway. So I would suggest that we could do this right now. We could see a huge influx of revenue coming in to offset some of the problems they may be arguing with as we speak.
I can see why it's attractive to raise the revenue point of view, but it raises a lot of other concerns about people already under saving, and this would exacerbate it. I'm also wondering, would they only be able to buy a house with it, or would they be allowed to use up to 25% for anything?
I would say most of them would probably have maybe their own business. They need to put money in their own business. Hobby Lobby, everyone's familiar with. That's an Oklahoma company. I remember when they were operating in their garage, making little trinkets. And now they're the largest arts and craft in the world. At that time, they needed a little bit of money and just to boost their business. I would anticipate most of it, Kelly, would be for that very purpose, to try to.
So you could use it for anything, though, just to be clear, because that seems like part of if I were to raise a criticism of this, other than just generally being worried about people, what you could say, raiding their 401ks, it would be, okay, I understand maybe if you want to encourage home ownership, but we've been down that path before. The other piece of it is that what if you can use the money for anything? If you're only paying a 10% penalty, I imagine people would tap that pretty quickly and spend it pretty quickly, and then there goes a huge chunk of their savings now, but also for the future. Yeah, but
if you say that, you're kind of assuming that they're not going to be looking after their own, somehow the government can do a better job for them. We're only talking about up to 25%. And I think I would hope that you're right, that a lot of people would be wanting to do it, but somehow it's going to be going into the economy. And one of the things about this tax plan, those of us, Kelly, that not you, but me, who are old enough to have been around back during the 80s, we know what can happen. We know how much additional revenue can come in as you increase your GDP. And I think this would have an effect of actually doing that. The bottom line is that's immediate money. It's now, today. In the event they find at the last minute they're going to have something in there that's going to provide additional revenue, they got it.
Hey there, thanks for checking out CNBC on YouTube. Be sure to subscribe to stay up to date on all of the day's biggest stories. You can also click on any of the videos around me to watch the latest from CNBC. Thanks for watching.